Seattle.
Do you want the good news first or the bad news?
I'm always a bad news first person.
We'll go with the good news.
Okay.
That's how easy you flip. You would be the easiest suspect to get to confess to a crime.
Well, I'm a terrible liar anyway, so.
That's so true. I'll add that to the list. So it started off mean. I apologize. Recenter. I know it's easy to pick on him. Don't pick on him. Okay, so good news, bad news. Good news is that we are seeing more officers, new recruits coming into the Seattle Police Department. And they say they're nearing 150 officers hired so far this year, which is obviously a good trajectory for a department that has been losing more officers than hiring. But at some point, the bleeding stops and things start to reverse course. They say they're on pace. They're not there yet. But they're on pace to hire 150 officers by the end of the year. That's an increase from 84 in 2024 and 61 in 2023. Now, they put out some data points that we're supposed to be impressed by. That's not all that impressive. Again, it's not bad news, but it's also not the good news that they claim. That they say they've seen an increase in about 20% or so of applications coming in quarter over quarter, year over year, judging by the quarter. And again, that's good, but as we've previously reported and spoken directly to the Seattle Police Officers Guild on air about, they made it easier for people to mass apply to every single state law enforcement agency if they want to. So again, they're still applying, and that's good, but it's not quite the feat that people are saying. And they've got a new recruitment ad that's out there that I'm sure we're supposed to pretend is the reason why people are now all of a sudden applying.
True art is a sacrifice. Looking out for one another, protecting each other is an energy. We wear a badge, maybe a burden, an anchor of humility. We are creative and innovative, forward-thinking and selfless, prepared and compassionate.
I don't think you can call yourself selfless, but I do like the ad, right? It's a cool ad.
Kind of has like a Batman vibe.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I think it could only help. Obviously, it cannot hurt. I'm sure the radical left will be very upset with some of the militarization imagery, which I'm sure they'll claim at some point, or sorry if I give them any ideas. So that's obviously good news. Here's the bad news. Well, there's a few pieces of bad news. Number one, and we've reported this before, they've lowered the recruitment standards. They're not going to acknowledge that. They're not going to admit that. And maybe Chief Sean Barnes will come on the show and I'll put this to him directly. He'll decline it. I'll push back again. He'll decline again, and then we'll just move on. But if you talk to people who are in the know, and if you talk to officers, as I do very frequently, they're all saying exactly the same thing, that some of the people that have been brought on, at least early in this stage, not the kind that would have cut it pre-COVID. Now, that does not mean that they won't become really great cops. They are just going to need a little bit more help along the way. And perhaps that's okay. But no one talks about the lowered standards. And that's frustrating to me. Number two, they don't have enough full-time officers. They've got recruits, and that's fine. Awesome. They don't have enough full-time officers who are there patrolling the streets. Part of that is they're not bringing back lateral officers that maybe had previously left, or lateral officers from nearby agencies like Bellevue or Everett or the Pierce County Sheriff's Office. They're not bringing those recruits in at numbers that could help get cops out on the streets faster. So the trajectory is good with some caveats, right, of the lowered recruitment or the lowered standards, but it's still going to be a while before they're able to truly do the kinds of policing that we hope they do. And I'm talking, unfortunately, years, possibly a decade. That's how bad the staffing is right now at the Seattle Police Department, where it could be a decade before we truly get the fully staffed police department in a world in which, and the mayor who's on the show today, I recall it was him, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't Jenny Durkin, but when Bruce Harrell took over, we used to say the ideal number of officers in the city of Seattle was somewhere between 1,500 and 1,600. He has since revised that down to 1,400. Now, part of that is perhaps because he had in mind the care team, which are the kind of the quote unquote social workers who are out there who aren't making arrests, but they're dealing with, and that's fair, but we're still hovering around 1,000, which is not good. So even to get to the 1,400, it's going to be a lot. Keeping in mind, he's got, they think, 150 new recruits at the end of this year. That's not total new hires. That's not subtracting whatever I think they believe it's at like 70 who are going to be leaving. So we're not talking about a huge net gain. So to get even to 1,400, that's going to take a long time. Everyone that they get who's able to go out on the streets, that's obviously a step in the right direction. But if you're saying tomorrow you hope that when you're walking in downtown Seattle headed to, a Seahawks game or a Sounders game or a Mariners game next season, you want to see a lot more cops and you want to make sure that sort of the riffraff is taken care of. We're not at that point yet. We're inching closer. Chief Sean Barnes spoke with Como. He said he's encouraged by the new recruitment and then, again, tries to pretend that they didn't lower standards. And so the caliber of recruits is just, it's intense.
We're now on 150, and we're going to continue going.
They're not at 150 yet. They hope to be at 150.
Bringing in good qualified people to help serve this amazing city. I am thoroughly impressed with just the diversity of experience. A lot of our new recruits speak multiple languages.
Oh, that's good. He hinted at, but did not fully commit to we need a police force that looks like the community. I was hoping he would say that. I was hoping that, but he didn't.
I think we'll be able to see more people on the street, which is my priority, more people in patrol, more people who are answering.
You should say cops, because when you say more people on the streets, I'm immediately thinking homeless and hookers. You know what I mean?
You got plenty of those.
Just say we got too many of those. We need more cops.
Answering calls for service, reduce response times. I hope we can have that conversation in a year.
Okay. Well, he's in a precarious spot. I recall talking to Katie Wilson, asking her if she becomes mayor, does Sean Barnes remain the police chief? And she gave one of those, I want to put him in a position to show us what he got. That's not usually the answer you want if you're in that position. So I'm guessing Barnes is hoping that Mayor Harrell keeps his job, because otherwise, bare minimum, it's not a guarantee that Sean Barnes stays in that position. And I would understand why any new mayor comes into a position would say, I want a police chief that shares my vision for policing. And it might not be Sean Barnes. It likely isn't Sean Barnes, is my guess. So we'll see. Is he going to come on the show? I'd like to talk to him.
I haven't heard yet.
It's rude. He was in this building and we couldn't talk to him because I was talking to the mayor. You think I should have said something? He said, hey, Bruce, chill out for a minute. I'll be down when I'm down. I'm talking with Sean.
He would have understood, I think.
He said, first of all, it's Mayor Harrell, and then it's Chief Barnes, not Sean. So my bad. Push the button.
What's trending? The environment.
Well,